March 14th, 2020. The zombie apocalypse is here. First, the authorities told us it was unsafe to be outdoors or indoors. Then they canceled all the games, leaving us to Netflix and not chill on account of we have to stay 2 meters away from each other. I'm using both sides of the toilet paper to conserve this precious resource. Grocery store shelves are nearly bare in the suburbs as white people hoard dry goods and toilet paper, leaving only the gluten-free shit in the freezer case. I guess even white women will choke down a slice of bread if that's all that stands between them and certain death. Meanwhile, in the presidential campaign, as if that's even still a thing, what with the foreign virus claiming American lives by it's been a couple of dozen or so. 3 guys in their upper 70s are trying to figure out how to connect to the intertubes so they can hold virtual rallies. The president put Mike Pence in charge of the response effort. He'll probably encourage everyone just to pray the virus away because true Christians will be spared, obviously. It's every man for his own self, just like in the Middle Ages. Speaking of the Middle Ages, those who object to my jokes about the current pandemic should know that 15th century court jesters were probably making light of the bubonic plague. So everyone's talking about the Black Death. Just the other day, I saw a couple of knights in full armor standing in line at the open latrine in the village square. I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry, but do you know how hard it is to aim when your pants are made of steel and you can't look down through the eye slits in your helmet? I don't know about you, but I can't wait for someone to invent antibiotics and personal hygiene. And did you hear the latest royal decree? Yeah, King Edward III issued a proclamation that he was canceling the jousting tournament at this year's fair, and that all subjects must henceforth bow facing the opposite direction of His Royal Highness. Then he appointed the royal astrologer to lead the palace response to the plague. Forsooth, that guy doesn't even believe in bloodletting, and that's just science. I tell you, it's only a matter of time before Edward IV's reign begins. Hi-yo! But as Marshall Mathers would say, back to reality. More than 80% of people infected with the coronavirus show little or no symptoms. This means that a whole lot of us have the virus, just as we have dozens, if not hundreds, of other viromes. And it appears that of the 20% of folks who do get sick or, sadly, die from the virus, the vast majority are elderly or suffer underlying conditions that put them at greater risk not only for this virus, but for all other pathogens as well. But let's all hoard the toilet paper, just in case. More important is the fact, and I cannot emphasize this enough, that viruses evolve rapidly. So what could possibly go wrong with putting a dude who doesn't believe in evolution in charge of the government's response? God help us, because Mike Pence sure as hell won't. So yeah, we're all going to die. Well, about 0.4% of those of us who contract the virus are going to die. But you know what causes more deaths every year, including this one? The flu, which has killed something like 20,000 Americans this year alone. Of course, just this week, the very stable genius-in-chief said that he didn't know that people die from the flu. Breaking news. Donald Trump is a fucking idiot. Anyway, since we're all stuck indoors, maybe ESPN will run replays of past seasons so we can all get our sports fix. They should probably start with the 1919 baseball season, which occurred in the wake of the great Spanish flu epidemic, another foreign virus, although it didn't actually originate in Spain, which killed 50 million people worldwide. Except that there was no radio, let alone television in 1919. I sure hope the Hallmark Channel movies are as good as all my female friends say they are. On the other hand, what with the run on paper products, should we really be watching Weepies?